Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Paul Brown Show. This evening, my guest, she's a professional singer. Her name is Miss Mahogany Raye.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing here?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Welcome to the Paul Brown Show.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, welcome to Charlotte.
Hey, Charlotte. How y'all doing? I'm back.
She's back. Where you been
I'm
at?
back.
Where you been at? Why you left us?
I left to get this music moving.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a big album release party like 8 years ago before I left Charlotte. And the whole city came out. And I moved to Atlanta and just did songwriting for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then the music took me to LA.
Okay.
So I was in LA for a couple of years and was at Sony, Interscope, completing a lot of my work there in LA.
Okay.
Dealing, working with a lot of producers and different engineers out there and different artists. And the music took me back to Atlanta. And I just moved back to Charlotte like a week ago. So I've been in Atlanta all this time doing a lot of great things in Atlanta.
Correct.
And everything that I've learned from Atlanta to LA to London, all the way back to Atlanta, now bringing everything that I've learned musically and business back to Charlotte. Mm-hmm.
Describe that feeling of doing all that traveling and being in the spotlight.
Well, I'm a real big lover of music, so I don't really look at the lights and the glam and all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful to see, but nobody ever gets to see the hard work that goes behind doing music if you're really a music lover.
Okay.
And I grew up with music with my sisters and my brothers. From people that know us, they know if they come to our house, most of the time we're playing music and we're feeding people, and my dad is barbecuing. So I come from a musical family. We love music. So just being around a lot of like big names and big artists and different things, just moving around. I just love doing music. So it doesn't, like the glam part of it, it's there, but I'm just not, I'm just into the music. You know what I'm saying? I'm so in love with music that I eat it, I breathe it, I sleep it,
Name some of the artists that you've performed with.
Well, before I left Charlotte, actually, I was with an independent label called Longevity Entertainment here in Charlotte. And we did a lot of I opened up for Fabulous before, and Fat Joe, and T.I. before, and it's just a lot of different shows that I've done that open up for major artists. It was like a contest that was done here in Charlotte some years ago, and I won. It was like 30 artists in Charlotte, and I was the winner, and I ended up opening for Fat Joe at the Coliseum, and everything started from there. So, and first I was rapping at that time. I mean, I'm always a rapper, but I always been a rapper / singer. Okay. But when I was in Charlotte, I did more rapping. So I have a rap album, and I also have an R&B album. So when I went to LA, it went more towards the singing and R&B and soul and jazz and. So I do a little bit of everything.
Okay, growing up, who did you idolize as a singer in your life?
So many. One of my favorite artists, Mary J. Blige, Lauryn Hill, Sade, Anita Baker, Whitney Houston. I have just a long list of singers that I still listen to this day.
Correct.
Yeah.
Did you emulate any of those, would your music be classified as any of those artists?
Well, it's funny because when you're doing music and you're writing music, you go in and not wanting to sound like anybody.
Okay.
You go in to do music to sound like yourself. But along the way, me sitting in front of A&Rs and labels and everybody's telling me that I have a sound kind of like Amy Winehouse. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I get that a lot. Adele, I get that a lot. Just certain type of artists. Erykah Badu sometimes. I just think I sound like me, but the main person that people say that I sound like, the music sounds like, is Amy Winehouse. Okay. And I loved her. She's dead now, but she was a great artist, a great writer, and she would have been awesome if she was still here.
So what inspired you to to the music other than family and all that? What really inspired you?
Well, sometimes growing up, I can remember when we lived in New Jersey, I can remember like young days when I was on the school bus, battling, rapping other kids on the school bus. So I think music's always just been in me. Some people, music is just always in you. I go to sleep, I dream about music. I dream about lyrics. I dream about, beats and different things in my head. So it's just, some people just meant to be here to do music, So it's just always been in me. Nothing really like kind of inspired me to do it. It's just always, I hear music.
Now, I know you mentioned New Jersey. I know up there in New York, New Jersey, you hear a lot of these, and they're like normal, but they're big to us, big time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like, is that kind of like normal? I mean, the way how, because the way how those artists to each other, they're like normal.
Right.
But
it's just your peers.
Correct.
Like, sometimes I can be in the studios I've been in LA and different places, Jodeci walk in, Waka Flock, different people just walk in the studio, and you're not starstruck because this is your peer. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you want to work with them. You know what I'm saying? You don't look like, oh my God, The only person I think I would be probably starstruck is probably Beyonce. Out of everybody, and Sade. Those are the two that I would be like, you know what I'm saying? Because I love both of them so much. And I love what they're doing, their music. And, it's a lot of new artists that's coming up that's in the R&B and soul and jazz type of field that I love. Like, it's a new girl called Her. She's pretty dope. It's just a lot of different artists that's coming up that's doing really good on the R&B and soul and jazz type of era. So I'm looking forward to, like, working with those artists also.
So the collaborations, I mean, I know you mentioned a lot of those artists. So what would be the main, if you had the chance to collaborate with any artist, who would it be? Here,
now, the new artists or the old artists?
Let's go with the new the old.
New artists, I would love to do a collaboration with Kendrick Lamar. I would love to do a collaboration with Her. I would love to do a collaboration with Rihanna. Beyonce, J. Cole, Jay-Z. Those, to name a few right now. I would love to do collaborations with those people.
Well, you can get there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just a matter of time. I mean, speaking to existence.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that talent that you have, I mean, it's like, I've listened to your music and you have a lovely voice.
Thank you so much.
And what's your ultimate goal in life as far as in that music industry?
Well, basically being back in Charlotte, I see like a lot of things that's missing musically here. You know what I'm saying? So I think God put me in certain positions to meet and to do business with certain people along the way. You know what I'm saying? In different cities and different things to bring something back home. I think like with me being in bigger cities, I think even Atlanta, LA, they have like their culture there. You know what I'm saying? And Charlotte needs to have its own culture of music here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to love us until we love the artists that we have in our own city.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? We can't like always just go outside of the city and fall in love with other artists in other cities and not our own. So, I want to be able to, collab with a lot of producers here, a lot of artists here, a lot of songwriters, you know what I'm saying? Just all of us come together and build our own culture here. So people want to come to Charlotte to hear those artists. You know what I'm saying? Us maybe get a club that's just specifically for those artists that are coming up in the city. And this is where you can see them at. You know what I'm saying? So when any other artist comes from any other state, they're like, oh, we're going to go to this soul club or this jazz bar to see Mahogany. You know what I'm saying? And that will bring some culture to the city and studios to start opening, people to bring money here. You know what I'm saying? It works different in other cities. You know what I'm saying? So me just sitting back, I didn't only visit these cities, I lived in these cities.
Okay.
So it's a difference when you're going to LA and you're just going to visit. But if you go in there and you're living for a while, you get to see the culture. You get to see what's going on business. You get to see what's going on musically there and how people move and how they bring in money to the city, you know, and you need those people with those open, outside, thinking outside of the box to come in a city that's growing, the city that wants the culture here. And you need these musical people to bring it here. The songwriters, the producers, the engineers, everybody needs to come together and build our own culture in the city.
Do you feel like artists work together, or you think they're kind of like working separately, trying to work on their own identity?
Yeah, I think, yes, that's what, when I was here some years ago, what was going on when I was here years ago. So everybody can change. Things can change.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? If you know that hasn't been working for the city, it's time to do something different. And sometimes coming together like a big studio with 10 artists is great and the city comes together, you know what I'm saying? You're going to make some noise.
Correct.
Industry-wise. People are going to have to come and spend some money with you. They're going to have to come and want to invest and want to, So I think us working as a collab, everybody come together and putting everything together, I think it'll work better that way. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have big studios here, Interscopes and, and Sony. We don't have those people looking at the city. So we have to make it happen ourselves. We can't sit back and just wait on people to give us something. You have to go and take it. So, that's why a lot of artists here leave and go other places. And then they go to another city and people love them more there. You know what I'm saying? Because we have the resources in other cities. We got the big studios that you're going to get great production. You're going to get great engineering. If you don't have that here in the city, it's just a waste.
Correct.
You're just like running in a backward circle. So we go to the places where we're going to get the great engineer, the great production, work with the, artist that's already on.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So Charlotte is a great city and it's growing really fast. And we just have to basically focus on our own.
Okay.
Focus on our own and let people come to us, just like everybody else comes to the other cities. People go to Atlanta because they think they're going to run into Future. All the artists are just, you can walk out your door and you'll see any of them in Atlanta.
Correct.
But they love Atlanta. So they bring all their culture and the music and everything's there. So that's what we have to do here in Charlotte. There's a lot of, great artists here in Charlotte, but they never get a chance. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
You got so much enthusiasm. What advice would you give to that young artist inspiring to want to go to that next level? What type of advice would you give them?
I would tell them to never give up. If this is something that you really want to do, anything's possible. I've seen things happen that I'm like, sit back some days, I'm like, God, you did that for me? Doors open. It can be one song that can open up 10 doors for you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to just make sure you just be focused and never to let people tell you can't do anything.
Okay.
No matter how you look, it's a lot of naysayers and they always try to hold you back and tell you can't be this and can't do that and you never meet this person and never. And I'm the type of person, I like to prove people wrong.
Correct.
So I've met a lot of people and, through my journey and that I never thought in a million years that I would ever meet.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So you sitting across the table from millionaires and they just loving your personality and loving stuff that you do just off of one song.
Mahogany?
Yes.
We're going to have to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back on the Paul Brown Show. Thank you.
Shattered glaze. Didn't know the man I had would take our love for granted. He left me paralyzed, dark tears fall from my eyes. Deception ruled him, destroyed our lives. nicotine. I looked him in his eye, couldn't see no colors through the light. Then I pulled out my knife. Then he dropped down to his knees. He cried out, "No, baby, please." I tried to hold him, oh, then I went deep. Mr. Gambling Man, you need to understand. You lose up, you win. Oh, I'm Mr. Gambling Man. You need to understand. You can't pretend. Oh. Boy, I wished I didn't have to take it there, but you didn't care. No.